Some tense moments outside the Target Center in Minneapolis. We are keeping an eye on that. Our own Matt Finn is there on the ground. But on top of that, a new policy barring police officers from wearing their uniforms tonight if they weren't on duty. Try to make sure that they don't appear to be political. So our next guest created a new uniform of sorts, a red Cops for Trump T-shirt. Joining me now, Lieutenant Bob Kroll, president of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis. And Lieutenant, welcome. You ended up on stage with the president tonight.
I did. It was amazing.
He's always been a big supporter of law enforcement. Tonight was no exception. And I know for you, many of your men and women are out there working on the streets because that's part of what happens when the president comes to town. I know that you were able to exit safely. Are you hearing from folks there on the ground about how things are playing out now?
Yes, it was. It's some pretty despicable acts that are going on out there. I heard from officers that were working. The protesters were intimidating, spitting on people, throwing urine, throwing things at them. On the way out, I learned that our officers were getting bottles and rocks thrown at them, and they were not allowed to put their protective helmets on because it would look intimidating, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, we wish everyone involved there safety in getting home tonight, and we know our men and women in law enforcement are out there on the front lines every single day, so we thank you for that. There was a lot of controversy on numerous levels about the president coming to Minneapolis, and at one point, the police chief put out a statement about you all wearing your uniform, saying this: the new policy prohibits MPD employees from wearing the MPD uniform while endorsing political candidates. Trust is the cornerstone of our service, and I believe this policy helps to strengthen that. Fair to ask officers not to take sides on politics?
It is fair. However, you don't change the game midstream. And, you know, for 50 years, the Democrats have benefited from the Police Federation's endorsement, and that meant officers standing behind the candidate. As recent as the President Obama administration, not only were officers behind him, they were directed in order to be there against their will. There were command staff people behind him that have since advanced in rank. And with the president coming here, our officers actually wanted to attend because it's been night and day when you compare the presidents. President Obama was a very anti-law enforcement president, and President Trump turned things around immediately. He took the handcuffs off the cops and wanted them on the criminals. So many of our members wanted to attend to show their support, and once he announced he was coming, the day later the policy changed. Okay.
Well, I know that, of course, like with any organization, not everybody's going to be on the same page. Minneapolis Public Radio says this. Other members of law enforcement say they're disturbed by both the overt political sentiment expressed by Minneapolis Police Union leadership and the message it sends to the community, as well as by high-profile law enforcement support for President Donald Trump. Have you heard from officers who were worried about the political perception, the public perception of this?
There was one officer that, you know, had questioned it, and that was the only one I've heard from, because we amped it up and we sold a bunch of these T-shirts that I'm wearing, thousands. We sold over 5,000 now, and there's back orders. But he said, "Is all this worth it?" There was one guy I got an email from. So as far as officers, there was one out of our 900 that I've heard from.
And I don't imagine that you planned on selling this many T-shirts. I heard at one point that the website was down; it wasn't able to handle the traffic. What happens with the proceeds? Can people still buy the T-shirts? Do you think the controversy will die down now?
Well, after the president tweeted it out, the site crashed several times, and we just, we don't do that kind of volume. We've always had a store that operates there, so everybody thought it was a one-time thing and they had to get them right now. But no, our store is open there. We're going to continue to carry them there. We're hoping the president will be back and they will be stocked. So if you ordered one online, allow us a week for shipping, because next week we're going to catch up on all that. These went out the door fast, and we are sending out the orders. But yes, it's online, mpdfederation.com. And you can order them, and we'll ship them. And, we wanted to get them out to the people so we could be wearing red tonight for the event. But we're going to continue sales throughout.
And they benefit the organization, the officers that
they benefit Police Officers Federation charities. We've got a charitable arm that we do a number of things with. You've actually covered it before, but yeah, we've numerous charitable donations come from the proceeds.
Well, and then we hope this will be a silver lining for them. If a controversy can lead to help for charities in your community, that's always a plus. Lieutenant Kroll, thank you for making time for us tonight. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.